60 seconds.
Go. How many players will there be today? A single player. Excellent. Gameplay functions as follows. When you have located the correct answer to a question, buzz in to indicate your desire to answer. Then choose the button that corresponds to the correct answer. These buttons serve as your buzzers. The symbol buttons are used to choose the answer you desire.
5, 4.
Now loading.
It's time for the show where high culture and pop culture collide.
Hey everybody, welcome to You Don't... Oh, it's just you. You should probably understand this right from the get-go. Just because I'm taking time out to play with you does not mean we're best friends now, okay?
1.
Coming at you, relevant experience, talking butt. And this one's going to be worth $2,000. Okay, so our pets episode means we're going to be asking all about kitty cats, puppy dogs, and apparently pet detectives, I guess. Imagine that Ace Ventura, pet detective, decides to retire because he is not a detective. Who would be least likely to replace him? Jim Rockford, Barnaby Jones, Perry Mason, or Joe Mannix? Perry Mason's a lawyer, not a detective. Although he might still be able to help pets anyway.
Could you describe, in your own words, what happened the night of May 20th?
Two.
Up next, portrait of the artist as a young puppy. You get it right, I'm putting you up $2,000. Heads up, here it comes. If your pet makes pet sounds, which of these will happen? Your pig will oink Ogden Nash poems. Your gerbil will squeak Beach Boys tunes. Your pet sounds is a very famous Beach Boys album. Hey, it could happen. My dog sounds like Bob Dylan.
3.
Here's a little something I call French kissing in the litter box. You get this one, you pocket $2,000. So you know the old saying, the cat's got your tongue, right? Well, if the cat actually did get your tongue, which of these membranes would it have to cut through? The septum, that gross little veiny thing right here, anything right here, that attaches your tongue to the bottom of your mouth is called your frenum. And that's exactly what you get when you let your cat play with the X-Acto knife.
4.
The category is off the wagon and into the doghouse. You're looking at $3,000 on this one. Okay, now you know those dog food commercials where the tiny little chuck wagon rides like mad across the kitchen floor with the dog in hot pursuit? Yeah, sure you do. Well, get out your slide rule and tell me this. If a chuck wagon leaves the pantry traveling 1 foot per second and a dog going 4 feet per second leaves the pantry 6 seconds later, how long until the dog catches the wagon? 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, or 4 seconds? Seconds. You know, if you say that word over and over again, seconds, it really doesn't mean anything anymore. I'm sorry, am I distracting you? That hungry pup would be all over that miniature wagon in 2 seconds. Which just goes to show how unreal those commercials are. What with the chuck wagon always getting away? Oh, and not to mention the horses the size of ants? I mean, come on! Better get set. This one's a when did happen. Here's what happens. I show you an event like this. I see you've done this before, no doubt. Well, bully for you. The name of this when did happen is Sparky dug himself a 6-foot hole. Okay, now what would a pet episode be without a friendly, cheerful reminder that your cute little bundle of fur will one day kick the bucket? So, the main point for this one is, Stephen King's Pet Sematary hits the bookshelves. So tell me, did this sad event happen before Pet Sematary hit bookstores, after that, or did it never happen at all? to it. Okay, let's take a look at the damage. Not bad. Not exactly stellar. Let's see what that does for you. Okay, let's get on with the rest of the show, shall we?
6.
This category is walk softly and carry a big squeaky toy. You get it right, you get 2K. Let's see how you handle this one. If your dog is being housebroken on Roger Ebert's film reviews, to what newspaper do you subscribe? The Chicago Sun-Times, the New York... Oh, TV may have made him famous, but I've always known my close personal friend Roger Ebert as a writer for the Chicago Sun-Times. But please, people, don't be so heartless as to housebreak your pup on Benji's obituary. Have a little respect, please.
7.
The category's gonna be The Vet Has a Side Job at Bo Rick's. How does $2,000 sound? Flex those fingers, here it comes. If your pet mullet gets a mullet hairstyle, what will you have? A bird with a thin braided tail in back. A fish with short hair on top, long in back. A lizard with hair that's short. Lil Flipper is gonna get his hair cut short on the top and long in the back, just like a hockey player. Hey, and you can make it poof up with just a little bit of salmon mousse.
8.
I'm calling this one, Who Left Rusty Out in the Rain Again? $2,000 for a correct answer. Put your head between your knees, because we're going down. If you were to breed Rin Tin Tin with a metallic canine, what would be the best name for the alloy puppy? Rin Steel Steel. Rin Pewter is a mix of tin and other metals, like copper or lead.
Here, Ren Pewter, come on, boy! Look, I said, get the hell over here! Alright, I'm getting the magnet.
9.
This one's called Musician Free to Good Home. I got $2,000 says you don't know this one. Think fast, it's question time. In which of these bands did a stray member of the Stray Cats find a home? Dave Matthews Band, Ben Folds 5, the Brian Setzer Orchestra, or Big Bad Voodoo Daddy? So you don't lose any sleep over it. My close personal friend Brian Setzer, ex-frontman of the Stray Cats. And on his behalf, I'd like to say that all the rumors about neutering are not true. That lovely voice of his is au naturel.
10.
Coming at you, Don Corleone doesn't like Don Johnson. And this one's going to be worth $2,000. Yes, always time for a little 80s trivia, wouldn't you agree? So think back to the days of pastel suits and windblown hair, because we're talking Miami Vice on this one. Imagine one of Sonny Crockett's enemies kills Crockett's pet and then sends it to him. What will Sonny most likely receive in the mail? Some tortoise-shell glasses, a feather boa, a pair of alligator shoes, or a mink coat? Talk about your studs, huh? Sonny Crockett had a pet alligator, which turned out to be a better partner than Tubbs, because at least the alligator ate all the fishy bad guys with the mullet haircuts. I hope you've taken your medication, because we're heading straight for a coinky-dink. All right, listen up. Here's how you play this thing. I'm going to give you a set of pairs that are somehow related, and there's going to be a series of items whipping by that may or may not connect the two. Buzz in to choose the item you think correctly joins the two. You're getting $1,000 if you're right, but a word of caution. You lose $1,000 every time you're wrong. At the end, I'm going to give you a bonus question for some bonus cash. Pay attention to all the correct answers in the regular round if you want a shot at that bonus. The category for this coinky-dink is hot and heavy petting. Got it? Good. Let's go. Pugilist and full cut underpants. What do these two items have in common? Where drugs are made and where rats are tested. Bailiff on Night Court and the B in BS. Skirt and rhymes with noodle. Bit of advice and R&B group Like Sisters. Sybil Blank and The Lord Is My Blank. Sexy Voice and Hefty Kid. Okay, heads up for the bonus. What do all the correct answers have in common? Are they all fishy hairstyles, symptoms of rabies, mascots for Playboy, animals slept with, things that snakes eat, breeds of puppy dogs? You nailed it! You get the milk bone. Sweet, now go for that bonus. Well, what do you know, player one? You got the bonus as well. Maybe you should call all your friends and tell them. When the game is over, let's get on with it.
12,
Up next, only parts of New York smell like a zoo. You get it right, I'm putting you up $2,000. Open wide. Which pet would you expect to be overrunning New York City's Coney Island? Pussycats, alligators, rabbits, or turtles? Coney is a synonym of rabbit. Yo, move your freaking cottontail!
Why, I ought to bust you and your twitchy little nose!
13,
Here's a little something I call Beauty and the Bestiality. You get this one, you pocket $2,000. Eyes forward, we're going. If you rent a porn movie starring exotic, Russian blue, chartreux, exotic, Russian blue, chartreux, and Havana brown are all breeds of cats? Oh, you sick freak! Well, what are you gonna do if you can't get your own diminutive feline animal?
14,
The category is 9 lives are no good if they're all sterile. Get this one right, you get $1,000. Okay, free your mind. If your vengeful pet were to neuter the game show host who ends all of his shows by reminding people to spay or neuter their Mr. Bob Barker is the one who ends every episode of The Price is Right by reminding people to have their pets spayed and or neutered. Of course, your pet doesn't really have to seek its revenge through surgery. No, one well-placed bite ought to teach Bob a lesson. Welcome to the Jack Attack. Always in a hurry. I'd bet you're a joy to hang out with. Here's your clue. There's a little pet in everything. So don't be afraid if I start humping your leg. Good luck! Wow, that was an exciting game. That was a real thrill. You were the best player we've had by far. Now do me a favor, will you? Look to your left, now look to your right, now repeat after me.
You don't know Jack!
scoreboard. Do not be afraid, but do enter your name. Fine job. You are one of the few.
America's
Be
number one
proud.
zombie
Please let me know
recording
if you would like to play again.
inspired millions with his words and his voice. And now, available for the first time on compact disc, you can get all of Zombie Lou's greatest hits, including the heartfelt "My Brain Done Left Me," "Rainy Day Romance," and the unforgettable classic "Brain for the Holidays." You and your loved one will want to listen to this CD again and again as Zombie Lou sings his way into your hearts. Copies are limited, so order now.
Just send $15.95 to the gravestone underneath the old oak tree, St. Peter's Cemetery, New York, New York.
Hey, who likes ice cream?
I do!
Well, that's right, Bobby. And who likes ponies?
I do!
You betcha, Susie. And what about roller coasters?
I do!
You got it, Tommy. And how about pornography?
That's my favorite!
Right on, Grandpa. I think we all know where we're going.
Awesome! Excellent! Pornography!
You really want fun for the whole family? Then come on down to Uncle Jack's amusement park, petting zoo, ice cream parlor, rifle range, and porn emporium. We know what families like.
Derek Carling was a modern-day prodigy, adding flavor to a bland world.
Derek was able to hear a song just once and then hum it all day. He wouldn't even realize he was doing it. It was like he brought this invisible happiness to our home.
I don't like any kind of music. Classical, rock, jazz, you name it, I don't like it. But Derek, somehow he made it all sound pleasant.
In a background music industry that demanded ubiquitous instrumental medleys, Derek Carling found success immediately.
Derek was a genius. I mean, no one could make shoppers shop longer or workers work harder.
At his height, you couldn't go anywhere without subconsciously hearing Derek's stuff.
Oh, he had groupies.
Until Derek's ego drove him into a nightmarish descent filled with booze and drugs.
He went from audio architect to audio autocrat in about the blink of an eye. He crashed and burned good.
Tonight, Derek Carling's 15 minutes of inharmonious infamy on Behind the Muzak.